So when you think of lettuce, there's probably at least 5 different varieties that come straight into your head. For me, when I think lettuce, I think iceberg, I think rocket, I think baby leaf. There is a lot of different varieties. So the nice thing about this tutorial is that you are going to learn what you need to know to grow any type of lettuce that you want. There's really just 2 different types. There's ones that form a head, and then there's ones that just form loose leaves. And today in this tutorial, I'll be showing you the basics of how to grow both, so that it doesn't matter what variety you decide to grow, you'll be able to grow it. Now, before we get into the actual sowing of the seeds, I just want to give you a bit of understanding as to why I sow the different types the way that I do. When it comes to your leaf lettuce, such as your rockets, your mustard mixes, I find with them plants you're better to direct sow. Now, as we discussed before, direct sow means that you're going to sow the seeds directly where they're to grow and they're to stay. There's no transplanting involved. And what I find with the loose leaf types of lettuce is that once I put them in the ground, the seeds obviously germinate at slightly different rates. Not everything, it's very rare that everything will germinate exactly at the same time. So what you can do is harvest the first ones to grow, and that naturally creates a space for anything that's coming up behind it, the later plants. So it's nearly like you're doing a succession sowing without even meaning to. And I find as well the loose leaf lettuces don't mind being crowded together more than, say, the head lettuces, which is why I sow the lettuces that create a head, such as an iceberg or a lala rosso, individually in module trays. And as we learned before, in a module tray means that you're starting it off in a small tray and that you will take them out and transplant them at a later date. I find any lettuce that forms a head benefits from this because they need the space, and if they grow on top of each other, you have the potential to lose some seedlings and lose some plants. So you're better off individually sowing them so that you can individually space them, and it saves wasting seed and time and effort. First, we're going to grow a salad leaf mix. This mix consists of rocket, mizuna and other mustards. As we're going to direct sow the seeds, we need to water the soil well. This is the seeds for our leaf mix. We want to make sure that we sow the seeds quite sparingly, giving each plant room to grow. Once you have them sowed directly onto the compost, they don't need to be covered, and it's exactly the same method if you're growing in a container. Lettuces that form a head are best started in a seed tray. This Robinson's lettuce, for example, is a crisp head lettuce very similar to an iceberg. When sowing these seeds, fill your seed tray with compost and water well. Then, using your dibber, put 1 seed per cell. You can leave the seeds uncovered until they germinate. Once your seedlings are big enough, take your widger and use it to remove them from the cell in the seed tray. Ensure that you don't damage the roots. Using the widger, make a hole directly into the ground or into the soil in the container that you're using, just big enough to plug the plant into. Gently press the plant into the hole and tuck it in using the compost or soil around it. I want to demonstrate that you don't have to have fancy tools to garden, and that a teaspoon is just as effective as a widger. Using the teaspoon, gently remove the plant from the cell in the seed tray. Then, using the teaspoon, make a hole just large enough to plug the plant into. Gently press the plant into the hole and tuck it in using the soil or compost around it. And just by following these few basic steps, you too will have healthy harvests like this one to look forward to. So there you have it, everything you need to know about growing lettuce. Now, my final thing that I will say in it is just Have a look at the variety that you're going to grow and make sure that it's suitable for the time of the year. Some lettuces are better in the winter in the cooler conditions. If you try to grow them in the summer, when it's drier, when it's warmer, they'll bolt, which means that they'll just go straight to flower to produce and seed. It's a stress reaction in them to the weather. They don't like it. So just make sure that you are growing a variety that suits the time of the year. And don't forget, it is perfectly possible and easy to grow salad greens all year round, 12 months of the year. Some of them thrive in the colder conditions. I had a mustard green mix that was growing all winter. Now, the leaves did get a little bit tougher than you'd be used to, but they were perfectly fine to put, say, in stir fries or things like that. They were a little bit tough for a salad, but you can still grow your own fresh greens all year around. Best of luck with your lettuce growing, and if you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.